Hi guys, in this section we are now moving into the behavioral diagrams which are the advanced. But I am starting with the sequence diagram which are very commonly used by the developers. Now, what are sequence diagrams? Now, sequence diagrams are commonly used by the developers to model the interactions between objects in any single use case or any single sequence of events, I will say. Now they illustrate how the different part of the system interacts with each other to carry out a function, and the order in which the interaction occurs when a particular use case is executed. Now, in simpler words, a sequence diagram show how different parts of the system works in sequence to get something done. Now, I will be showing you each and every element of it. We will take a simple sequence diagram, and then we will try to understand that how the sequence diagrams works. Okay, now I may move out a little further and show you that in the very beginning that how this sequence work. Okay, now sequence diagram are, you just need to remember that sequence diagram are commonly used in software development to illustrate the behaviors of the system and helps the developer to design and understand the complex system, and they can be used to model both simple and complex interaction between objects, making them a useful tool for the software architects, designers, as well as the developers. Now, what are the notations? Now let us start looking at the notations. This is lifeline notation. Now what is that lifeline does? Now lifeline is nothing. Say for example, we have an object named as student. You remember our use case? In the similar lines, if I have an object which is named as student, a sequence diagram has to be made up of several of these lifelines notations, and this should be arranged horizontally across top of the diagram. Okay, no two lifeline notation should overlap each other, means you cannot bring this on top of this. Okay, that is wrong. So you need to remember that, and you have to make it in this order rather than keeping on top of one each. Okay, now they are represented the different system. Now student object talking to course object, in the similar way you can think. Okay, now a lifeline notation with an actor is used when a particular sequence diagram is drawn. Say for example, you have this lifeline and you need an actor. Actor means the person who is going through a sequence of event, or any actor. It can be a computer, it can be a system, it can be anything, whoever is using, and whatever is happening through the sequence of events is what you will be showing through an actor. Now then, what is message? Message is from where to where the sequence is flowing. Okay, then there can be a boundary for this, there can be concurrent actions, there can be gates. Now I will be showing you some of the elements of it so that you will be able to draw your own sequence diagram. Right now, better to draw a diagram and explain you while I am going through it. Okay, now all the activation bars and whatever you see in the left hand side can be used during your sequence diagram. Now let us imagine that a person, say for example this as a person, consider this as a person. It can be a code, a sequence of classes for which you can draw, but just for our understanding, so that we are on the same page, I will be drawing a sequence of activities. Okay, now say a person goes to the ATM. Let me consider this as ATM. Okay, a person goes to the ATM and he wants to withdraw some money out of the ATM. Everybody of us has done this in the past, or maybe you are doing still every day, right? Now let us draw a sequence diagram out of that, and we will be able to understand how sequence diagram works. Okay, now after the ATM, you just do a bank server. While you are drawing this sequence diagram, what you need to remember, what are the sequence of events which is happening in a nutshell. You have to first think about that, then you start mapping that and drawing that how it will occur, what are the sequence of steps which is happening. So I'm just writing bank server here, then ATM, a person, ATM, bank server is involved. What else can be involved? Let me drag it a little further so that we can draw it properly and we have enough space to draw it. Let us take another lifeline and I will tell this as a bank account, say for example. Okay, now once I draw this 3, I have to now draw the sequence. Now remember, this is the lifeline. This indicates that how long your interaction with this person will be alive. Now it can be a person class or it can be anything, but whenever you are drawing the sequence diagram, this kind of lifeline will be coming. These are called lifelines. Okay, now you can drag this lifeline till the end. I mean, you can make it much bigger than what I have drawn here, but it all depends how long the interaction. It can go very long. Okay, now when you are going for a complicated diagram, it can go very long. Now this person, when he is going to the ATM, the first thing is he will be inserting his card, or whenever we go, I will be inserting a card. So what is that? I am sending a message from here to here. Agree? So I will just put it in the top. Now what is this? I will say that he is inserting the card. Just for our understanding, you will understand how this messenger actually interacting with each card. The moment you enter this card inside the ATM, what is the next step you will be taking? The system will try to verify that card. So what I am doing, I am drawing another interaction and I am saying, please verify the card. This is the next sequence of activity. The moment this verification occurs, where it goes to the bank servers to check whether this card is valid or not at all, right? So if it is valid, if it says it is valid, then it will give a return message to the ATM. Agree? Now to give a return message to the ATM, what we will do? We will take this message. This is a reply message, and we will draw a line from here to here. Now here what I am saying, the card is okay. If you say the card is okay, then what happens? Then it is going to check for the next step action. But if the card is not okay, what happens? How you have to draw that? What you will do is, you can take a fragment. Okay, in that fragment, you start the fragment from here to here. Okay, here this is a if and else logic which you are trying to create. Okay, so you are saying if the card is valid, if card is valid, then do this. If the card is not valid, then do something else. What is that you want to do? Wait, inside this frame, this is the alternative frame, right? So this is what I wanted to draw of. This is not required, you just delete it. It already added 2 times, it is adding unnecessarily. Okay, now here you have to give another interaction where you are going to tell card is invalid. How will you tell? Here you just select that one again and you are going to tell that card is invalid, right? Now card is invalid as a reply message. The first one is telling card okay. If the card okay, then what I will do is, I will tell okay, if the card is okay, now I want to do a different thing. What is that different thing? I want to request a pin, and request pin, what it will do? it is going to the next step. And the moment you are going to the next step, what you have to do, you have to make this line as a normal line, which means this line has to change. Just a second. Now the request pin cannot be a reply message. This is a, after the card is okay, it is a reply message. This is not a reply message. So what I have to do, I have to change this. I should not carry on with this. So I will just delete this one. What I will do is, I want you to know exactly how to go to the exact request message. When you are saying a request message, put this. So you are requesting a pin in this case, right? Because the card is okay, the next step will be request pin. What will happen in that case? That the user, the person who is actually withdrawing money from the ATM, he is requesting a pin. Now what happens if the card is invalid? If the card is invalid, the card has to be ejected, but that is also another action. So what you do is, you say a line which you are saying the card is ejected. Clear up to this? So you have a guard where if then else condition you can put depending upon what activity you are doing. Let us see one more interaction. Okay, now say for example, after this, till now we know that the card is ejected. Now say for example, the request pin is correct, or the person who is entering the pin has to enter. So next set of action, what will be the next set of action? I will request a, I will enter the pin as a at that person. So enters pin. The moment it enters the pin, what is the next sequence of action it will happen? It will go for verifying the pin. So the moment you do that, you will now go to the next sequence of action. So verify pin. The moment you say verify pin, what happens? Again there will be two processes which will be coming one after the other. Remember this sequence you have to just put just below that, so that you know the interaction is going from where to where. This is how the sequence diagram you need to draw. Now when you are verifying the pin, what are the possibilities? You know the pin can be okay, or the pin is not okay. If the pin is not okay, you will tell him to either re-enter the pin, or after 2 attempts or 3 attempts you will tell eject card. So let us do that here. How we will do that? Again we have to bring that combined fragment. So you can go here and you can choose what kind of fragment you want to bring here. Now that is what I am doing. Now this fragment came, I am saying this is okay. Let me draw little, this one we can bring little below. Okay, now fine. Now this guy is entering pin, and what is this fragment name? I am just going to check whether the pin has been entered. Enter pins, verify pins. What happens after verifying pin? Pin OK can happen, right? So again we will go back here. What we will do? We will again click here and we will do the reply message. So the reply message will be from the bank server to the ATM by saying pin OK. The pin, if pin is okay, then it will go for the next set of actions. What will be the next set of action? It will be a request amount, isn't it? So I can show that by again clicking here and telling another message saying if the pin is okay, you can go for the next action. What is the next action? The next action is request amount, right? That way you can now tell if the verify pin is not okay. So you say not okay. How to do that? Again a dotted lines will come. Remember those conventions. so that everyone reads your message is able to relate what you are saying, right? Now pin not okay. What happens if pin not okay? Then what I will go again, I will draw another message and tell eject the card please. So have I selected? So you are doing by saying card is ejected again, right? So, or you can tell rather than card is ejected, re-enter pin. So basically what I am trying to show you here is all the sequence of activity that you are doing can be captured through a sequence diagram, and it's a very important diagram. Let us go to the next section and discuss the next set of things which we can do here. Okay.